Good afternoon, everyone. Aaron here from the WORLEY-BUGGER Fly Company, bringing you another weekly fly. So the fly that we're going to tie is Arianna's stone. Something nice, a little different, something not out there a lot, something beyond the rubber legs or whatnot. Sometimes it's nice to fish something else besides the standard patterns out there, and this is a great one for that. Okay, so to start the stonefly, we're using a size 6 scud hook with a 3/16 tungsten bead. We got the bead on the hook. We're just going to slide it back out of the way. We'll start our thread right here behind the eye of the hook. I'm going to go back about 1/8 of an inch. So taking a fine rubber leg to start with here. We're gonna fold it over, tie it in. Clip off our excess. And we're gonna whip finish. Cut our thread and move our bead forward all the way to the eye of the hook. So we're going to start again right behind the bead, right where we left off. And we're going to carry our thread all the way down the hook, way into the bend. Probably 1/8 of an inch above the point of the hook. So I'm just going to make sure that we cover the body good so we got a good foundation. We're going to stop there once we've done that. Tie in our pincers. We want to keep these right on the back of the hook. I always kind of check them, make sure they're kind of even here, because once everything's in place, it's pretty much permanent. So once we got them where we want them, we'll just tie them in good here. Cut off the excess. I'm going to advance my thread back up to the top of the hook, just behind the eye. I'm going to take a fine piece of copper wire, tie in here. Same thing, we want to try to keep all this stuff running right down the back of the hook. So we're going to cover this wire. We're going to go all the way back to where we tied in our tail. Bring our thread forward again. We'll take a strand of blue halo flashing. Same thing, I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to tie it all the way back right to where the tail of this is. Stop there. This particular fly that I'm tying here, I'm doing with a black rabbit dubbing. You can change the body color for whatever stonefly you want, size, body color. we're going to put on a pretty heavy dubbing noodle here. This is what makes the body of the fly, so. As you're wrapping this forward towards the front of the hook, you want to try to slightly taper up the body as you go forward. I kind of look after I put the first bit on, see kind of where I'm at with the body on this. You're going to kind of leave a gap behind the bead, so you want to have enough but not too much. So we want to leave about 1/4 of an inch from the bead to where we stopped the dubbing at. So we're going to take that blue flashaboo that we tied in. We want to try to center this over the back of the fly as best as you can. Tie it in good. Cut the excess off. I'm going to take our copper wire, take nice even wraps up the body. Okay, so the next material that we're going to put into this fly is a little piece of 1/2 millimeter foam. This is going to form the wing case on this fly. So, and what I've done is I've taken and just cut a little V-notch in the top of it. Just lay this in here and tie it down good. And cut off the excess. It's going to be 2 pieces like that, one right on top of the other. So the one in front, you just want to put it slightly forward of the one you tied in before. Tie it down here pretty good. Once again, cut off the excess. So once we kind of get everything cleaned up here, covered with thread, I'm going to take a fine brown rubber leg, one for each side, and I've knotted this, so the knotted segment goes to the back of the fly. And I don't really worry too much about, the orientation of the leg when you tie it in. You can roll the rubber around and make it to where it'll lay in there how you want it eventually. I usually leave these legs about 3/8 of an inch from the joint to the body of the fly. Cover all this with dubbing. Whip finish, cut off her thread. Just going to kind of go through here and trim everything to length here. These legs, I like to leave them roughly at 1/8 to 1/4. You can roll them around until you get them in the right orientation. Go about 3/4 of an inch to an inch on our rear pincers. Our front legs here, we want to leave them about 1 inch approximately. Try to get them as even as possible. The last thing we're going to do is cut this loop for the antenna. And then I always just go straight across, that way I get them in. I leave those about 1 inch and 1.25 inches. And that is Arianna's stone.